And hi, everybody. Welcome to the Big Sky Conference World Headquarters here in Ogden, Utah for this week's abbreviated edition of the SkyCast. We just got back from Reno, some of us literally hours ago. I'm Jon Oglesby.
Jason Ashcraft.
Brad Wall.
And we'll hop right into some of this week's action. We want to start first with a real quick discussion, Jason. We had our basketball media day just a couple days ago. Take us through kind of your thoughts on how that went, the Reno setup.
Well, this is the first time we've ever had like an in-person basketball media day. Normally do the preseason conference call. Overall, I think it went pretty well. Most of the coaches that I talked to were pretty happy with the event. And, you know, this is a great city to have this tournament in, with all the entertainment options, with the arena that's literally a block from the three biggest hotels. Yeah. It's going to be great. And now you can go to roadtoreno.com, buy your tickets. They're on sale. You can visit. There's icons for each of the schools. Buy your tickets ahead of time. Book your flights ahead of time. You know your team's going to be there, and it's going to be a great week.
Should be a great time. Again, roadtoreno.com. Also, you can go to our YouTube channel to see all the interviews that were done with all the head coaches from each institution in the conference. Those are a lot of fun as well. Should be a great time in Reno. We're looking forward to it in March. All right, we're going to get into our what happened last week and then what we're looking forward to in each of our individual sports. It's going to be a quicker version this week, but Jason, we're going to start with soccer.
Well, sure. In soccer, it's a really tight race up at the top. Eastern Washington, Idaho, both 4-0. Eastern Washington has won 8 straight. Idaho has won all 4 of their conference matches. And then don't count out Northern Colorado, 3-0 right now in the conference as well. Our player of the week, though, we got to give a shout out to him. 2 freshmen. Kaylee Keba from North Dakota had an assist and a goal in their win over Idaho State on Sunday. And then Amanda Portner, freshman goalkeeper, second Big Sky Defensive Player of the Week this year, leads the conference with 6 shutouts. Very impressive. And then let's just go ahead and preview this weekend. Eastern Washington and Montana, 3 p.m. That's a game you want to keep an eye on because Montana, who is last year's defending regular season champion, plays Eastern Washington on Friday at 3, and then they host Idaho, or they travel to Idaho Sunday at 1. Both of those teams undefeated. Montana, a real chance to make some waves in the conference standings.
No doubt about that. Brad, what's coming up? What happened and what's coming up in volleyball and cross country?
Yeah, so volleyball, we had 5 teams go 2-0 last week, really picking up some steam. You have Idaho State and Eastern Washington, both 4-0. Idaho State, they pick up a huge win over Sacramento State.
Yep.
And then they hold off Portland State in 5 sets on Saturday. Eastern Washington and Northern Arizona, they both top Southern Utah and Idaho. They both go 2-0. Eagles are 4-0 now. Team not really. They were picked 8th in the preseason poll. No one was really sure what to expect of them. Credit to them for really coming on in conference play. North Dakota, Northern Colorado, they each go 2-0, beating Montana State. You had to expect Northern Colorado was going to come on strong soon. Maybe they've started it now. North Dakota as well.
Yep.
And our player of the week, that Sac State Idaho State game, I just had a feeling that the player of the week honor could come out of that. How big of a matchup it was. Yeah. 2 very strong offensive teams, but and Mackenzie Filer, she was strong offensively and defensively. She had 5 blocks against Sac State, one of the top hitting teams in the league, and then double-digit kills in both of those matches, and 9 blocks against Portland State. Outblocked the entire Viking team. You don't see that a lot in volleyball.
No. Very balanced performance from Filer.
Absolutely. And then coming up this week, Sacramento State, another big matchup for them. They've had a tough opening conference schedule. Credit to them for being 3-1, but now they get a shot to hand Eastern Washington their first loss.
Yep.
So 4-0 Eagles against 3-1 Hornets. Big matchup there in Cheney. It's Thursday, 6 o'clock Pacific time. That's kind of the big one I'm looking at. Idaho State heading to face Northern Colorado, North Dakota. Idaho State still 4-0. They got a good chance of going 6-0, but Northern Colorado, North Dakota, both picking up steam. Be curious to see how the Bengals do on that road trip.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the last weekend, it seems, in volleyball.
Yeah, there's a kind of a Power 5, if you will, in the Big Sky this year as far as volleyball goes. You have 5 teams that could realistically host the tournament.
Yep.
And when you see them facing each other, I mean those are huge matchups. Because that could really play a role in whether you're the first or second seed or you're the fifth or sixth. So be curious to see how all that plays out.
Yep. Okay, and then any quick notes in cross country?
Yeah, so cross country we had three different girls win individual titles. A couple teams take team titles as well. Chloe Burley, Sac State, just having a monster year for the Hornets. She wins their home meet, 16:36.4 in the 5K. Picks up our Female Athlete of the Week nod. And then Idaho's Kinsey Gomez wins the Montana Invitational. Portland State's Amanda Bowman wins the Willamette Invitational, helps the Vikings to a team title there. Speaking of the Montana Invitational, both MSU's men's and women's teams take the team titles there. And then Southern Utah men, they were fourth at the Notre Dame invite. Hayden Hawks, he picks up his second straight Athlete of the Week nod. Just having a great senior season for the Thunderbirds.
Sure is.
23:55.4 on the 5-mile course. 6 seconds behind a 2-time national champion of steeplechase, 3-time All-American, Anthony Rotich of UTEP. That's good company right there.
Yeah.
And then Eastern Washington women, they competed at Washington Invitational. Some really big national ranked teams, BYU, Stanford, Oregon, Washington. Sarah Ryder for the Eastern placed in 16th, 2015.6 in the 6K course. Helped Eastern just shoot up the West Region rankings.
Yeah.
They're now 8th, program best for in Eastern school history. So good for them. And then we just got 4 teams competing this weekend. Little bit of a down weekend for cross country, but there's pre-nationals coming up on October 17th. A lot of teams are gearing up for that and some other competitive meets as well.
Awesome. Well, we'll turn to my sports. We've got men's golf real quick, our men's golfer of the week. Devin Person from Weber State places high at the OGO Utah Invitational up at Jeremy Ranch and Country Club up in Park City. So congratulations out to him. That's his second Men's Golfer of the Week award this fall. As far as football this past weekend, we had a lot that happened in the conference. Want to highlight a couple games for you that I really thought were important. Number 1, Southern Utah beats Weber State 44-0. I don't think a lot of us felt that Southern Utah was going to be one of 3 teams that's 2-0 in the league. But the T-Birds are, as they force 6 Weber State turnovers, including 5 interceptions, pick up that 44-0 win over the Weber State Wildcats here in Ogden. Another big game that really not surprised me, but shouldn't say surprised, but impressed at the quality of it. North Dakota, Portland State. Portland State opens up. They get a big touchdown on the first offensive play of the game, but then it becomes a slugfest. North Dakota wins that 19-17. UND football now nationally ranked. Portland State still ranked as well. Again, I don't think this loss is indicative of anything that's wrong with Portland State. I just think that North Dakota was able to get a couple breaks to go their way in this game, and that's what it takes to win close games in conference.
And when you have a kicker hit 4 made field goals.
Yep.
Reed, I'm going to butcher his last name, Taubenheim.
There
we go. He was our special teams player of the week. When you have that kind of backup from your special teams, it really helps out.
Absolutely, it does. Our Root Sports Defensive Player of the Week is Caleb Kidder, defensive tackle for Montana. Montana picks up a 27-13 win over UC Davis. Kidder has a forced fumble and an interception. Not that often that you see a D tackle with an interception. Montana's defensive line had 2 picks in that game, so it was certainly a rarity. As Montana moves to 2-0 in conference play, 3-2 overall. And then Northern Arizona with a 49-41 victory over Montana State with that win. NAU coach Jerome Sowers now tied for the all-time lead in conference wins is 68. They play UC Davis this Saturday. He could become the all-time leader. Casey Yan, by the way, Northern Arizona running back, your Root Sports Offensive Player of the Week, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns as NAU picks up the big one there. Want to highlight a couple games this upcoming weekend of note. Idaho State at North Dakota, interested to see if UND can keep it rolling. That's a 1 o'clock Central Time kickoff on Midco Sports Network as well as WatchBigSky.com. Again, I'm interested in that NAU-UC Davis game. That's a 4 o'clock Pacific Time kickoff on WatchBigSky.com to see if Jerome Sowers picks up the all-time wins record there. Cal Poly at Eastern Washington. This is going to be an offensive showdown, albeit different styles, run versus pass. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here as a 1 o'clock Pacific Time kickoff on that game. That game will be on SWX as well as WatchBigSky.com. And then our Root Sports Game of the Week is Root Sports, the official television partner of the Big Sky Conference. Sacramento State, Montana State. Fellas, these are two teams. Both of them need wins.
Yes.
Montana State they're ranked 19th in the country right now, looking to stay in that top 25. They need a good win, and Sacramento State needs to try and make up some ground in the Big Sky race. Should be a fun one.
Yeah, it's a tough place to play up there in Bozeman. Dakota Prukop doing what he does. It's going to be a really interesting game.
It'll be Dakota Prukop versus Darnell Sankey.
Yep.
So we'll see
And the Hornets, they're coming off of 2 frustrating losses. They give Eastern Washington a run for their money, 2 weeks ago, coming off a tough loss to Northern Colorado. Really hope they're trying to
might have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder this week.
Absolutely. Kickoff for that game again, 5:05 Mountain Time from Bobcat Stadium in Bozeman at Sacramento State and Montana State on Root Sports. Fellas, that pretty much, again, an abbreviated version today because a lot of us just got back from Reno, but any other closing thoughts?
No, be sure to go to watchbigsky.com. Make sure you can check there. You can check out all of our football, volleyball games, and a couple of soccer matches. And don't forget to visit roadtoreno.com. Pick up your tickets now for the men's and women's basketball championships.
Keep following that hashtag Road to Reno. You'll be seeing it a lot in the next couple of months.
Yep.
All right, everybody, that's the SkyCast for this week. Great show, fellas. We'll have a better show next week, though. I'm Jon Oglesby.
Jason Ashcraft.
Brad Wall.
And we are out. Thanks for watching the SkyCast, everybody.